So I pulled 2 Shaman's Oracle cards. I got the Sweat Lodge and, well, I pulled one and this was at the bottom. Vision Quest. So number 54, Sweat Lodge again. There's a lot of toxicity in the air. I think it's because of the eclipse season. And the Vision Quest, I got the Vision Quest number 60. And then I also pulled Citadel deck. I got 2, the Dancer and the Musician, which go together, right? It says the Dancer is self-expression and strength. And the Musician, inspiration and gratitude. And on the bottom was the Sentinel, determination and certainty. And I wrote some things about that, about all of these cards, but I do want to get a spread. Which way should I do it? Oh, I also pulled Nature Spirits, number 39, and then we got an alignment, right? Number 12, 11, and 10. Relief, Earth, and Home. So, and then at the bottom is Stormy. Number 21, which is mirroring number 12, which was relief, right? Yeah. So relief in the storm, like there's relief coming, but just hold on. Something's brewing. I don't know. So let me see. I'm gonna get a 6-card spread real quick. Let me shuffle these real quick. I can't remember if I did or not. I don't think I. Anyway, so it's 12:23. So I started this at 12:21. Interesting. I think I started, yeah, because it was like 2 minutes ago. 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Interesting. And then about 12:21. Let me write that down. 12:21. Interesting. Okay. I'm a little sleepy today. I woke up late. I've been working my butt off lately, so. First card, Temperance. So Patience, which is another download I got about the relief, home, earth, stormy, nature spirits, 6 of Wands at the bottom. Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands, 7 of Swords. So it's kind of about having patience that all things are going to be resolved in its own divine timing, right? Victory, 6 of Wands. Interesting. Taking command, integrating lessons, and escaping. The 8 of Coins, 8 of Pentacles is behind that. So like all your hard work and dedication is paying off. Just be patient. You see how it's Kali? It's interesting. Is that who that is? Let me see. Because I think Temperance. Oh, it's I don't know how to say that name. I don't know. like the battles we face, facing the battles that we face. I don't like my bangs, like they look, yeah. The battles we face sometimes keep us in cycles, but they're for a reason. It's like a season and a reason. Sorry, my hair's nappy right now. I washed it, but it's kind of just sticking to my face. Anyway, who cares? I usually keep it covered in a hat, under a hat anyways, because I don't care. Like, people used to say, oh, you have such beautiful hair, blah, blah, blah. I used to kind of get my confidence from my hair. So I've stopped wearing long hair. Like, I got it real short now. And so it's not something that I seek validation from. You know what I mean? So my acts are where I get my validation from. Not my hair, not my looks, not my whatever. Because I know I'm not ugly. But, I mean, I can be sometimes. But everyone can be, right? But my validation comes from within, not from outward appearances. I think we can learn a lot from that. Like, from being better beings. Instead of taking our validation from the way we look or present ourselves. You know? It's something about that. Something about seeking to be better beings instead of being validated by our image, you know. The Empress, how we're showing up. Notice her hair is covered. Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is very psychic, very intuitive, very loving, very kind. She's the sweetheart, right? Mother, Cancer energy, the moon energy, right? Not the fear, but the intuitive, the person who the phases of life, right? That person who goes through so the moon goes through phases. The moon goes through darkness. It's also reflected by the sun, or reflects the sun, right? Reflects, but shines in its own way. It is obscured by the earth, right? That's what casts the shadow. So in some way, how are we like the moon? Creative, intuitive. Okay, the 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands, and the Lovers. It's burdened by choices, choosing ascension and boundaries, protection from 5 of Cups. So in some way we're showing up as like being very I want to say nurturing, but the divine empress or the divine feminine is she's not only intuitive, she's also dark. Queen of Cups is also dark. But it's a choice of like, in this Lover's card, it's like a taming of that beast, right? A taming of... Okay, so a lot of times the Queen of Cups gets overburdened because she's overgiving. So with this Nine of Wands here, she's setting boundaries, protecting home. You know? And then growth. So she grew from those burdens, right? Interesting. What's surfacing? Five of Cups. Two of Cups. So the Two of Cups is here in the Five of Cups. There's 3 cups that are poured out, that are, looks like in the water. She's upset about it, but she sees, I mean, you may be having your back turned to like this union somehow. Okay, yeah, I was getting some downloads earlier about like a third party situation, but I'll go into that in a minute. So Two of Cups, Justice, the World, and the Seven of Cups. So it was a choice. So again, with the choices, choosing justice and to close cycles. The Six of Pentacles, cause and effect. Okay. The balance of the universe. What do we need to expand on? King of Pentacles. So mastering the earth realm. Material. That's also my South Node. My South Node's in Capricorn. It's becoming because my North Node's in Cancer, so, but this is Scorpio energy. But it's like let me think about this. Six of Cups is like nostalgia. Expand on the King of Pentacles. Finding value in the past. Finding value in the memory. Yes. Oh, okay. That goes along with what my downloads were about. So let me see. The truth. Okay. So I was so in a third party situation, sometimes we're sent to those types of situations for deeper reasons, to make clear the purpose of those situations, to see like the memory. Okay, not just the memory. It's like making clear that there's group think, systems, things like that need to be sorted, like the shadow parts, the sweat lodge. There was a quest. It was like a vision quest, right? Oh my God. I have it all in my mind. It makes sense in my mind, but it's hard to explain. But bear with me. The group needed to transmute a deeper message, right? Like, we're sent these situations and scenarios to transmute the situation, right? We're we're all here learning lessons, right? From past encounters. And like, maybe it's a family system, right, that we're transmuting. The Sweat Lodge is about second chances. So second chances, maybe you were sent back to a third-party situation, or maybe you were sent this in this lifetime and in the past lifetimes. It's like a second chance to transmute the shadow place of the message. Does that make sense? Like to unearth deeper truths, shed the toxic. What was the gift in the tragedy, right? That's what we're looking for. It's not for shame and guilt and to create more chaos. It's actually to the Sweat Lodge to like excavate those shadows, those lessons, those deeper truths, right? Okay, so we got 6 of Cups, 3 of Wands, Knight of Wands, disintegrating the lessons, expansion, 2 of Wands. So it's about choices for sure. It's about answering the call, the vision quest. The vision quest, realizing our flaws so we can change and give perspectives that assist us to make our opportunities work, as opposed to sabotaging them and ourselves, answering the call, finding the God within. It's a deeper perspective. The Holy Mountain is back behind that. The deeper perspective, the higher perspective, the beauty way. Anyway, so that makes a lot of sense. Okay, what are our actions to take? Because we got the 2 wands. It's like making a plan of action. So that's how we find the value. Expand on the value. The inward journey, the shadow place, unearthing deeper truths to shed the toxic cycles that we were programmed into, right? Okay. Actions. 9 of Wands, set boundaries. Ascend to the higher self. Knight of Pentacles, Page of Swords, and the 8 of Wands, and the Sun. So it's like the lessons, learning the lessons, and 8 of Wands, and moving forward. So we also got the Dancer, the self-dance, the formless, the self-expression, strength. So the formless, self-dance, the formless and the form. So the dance of life, right? The form is the dance, taking the lessons and making, clear the boundaries. That's the dance, right? Putting it into form. The strength that comes from knowing ourselves past the sneaky doubts. Having compassion for who we are. The musician is about celebrating the growth of self. When we grow, we sometimes sometimes we notice a rising of perspective. If we tune in closely to self. Like, have you ever sat, like when you were a kid, did you ever sit I don't know if it was just me or what, but I never told anybody this, but did you ever feel like you could feel yourself growing? I don't know if it was ascension or what, but like, did you ever sit and like you could see that you've grown, and you could see, like, you feel yourself rising up? Have you ever felt like that? Weird. It's weird. Like, have you ever sat like in the same spot you were at yesterday, but you felt yourself kind of rising up? Kundalini. Okay, so the musician, the tuning is what we offer out to the world where they might be in darkness. We bring the light from our own darkness. We don't bring the shame. We bring the clarity and the compassion. So that's the musician. So instead of shaming others, we set boundaries, and we remember the past, and then we also, as the Empress, as the mother, the creative, we don't mother and smother. We mother and create change in the world, but by changing ourselves, right? So we bring ourselves compassion and wisdom and understanding and clarity for this, right? And instead of making more chaos and sabotaging, we create change and learn lessons and bring, like, that's probably the communication in the sun, right? We bring clarity and communicate the change in ourselves. So it's like, even though the world wants you to be shameful and feel some type of way about yourself because you got involved with something that you now know that you shouldn't, it's, instead of being shameful about it, you're bringing clarity to others about the situation. And there was more that I wrote about. So maybe it wasn't clear that was a third-party situation. Your intuitive guidance may be telling you that is, but you give the benefit of the doubt even at your own detriment, right? The Queen of Cups does that. And yeah, the truth and okay, so the next card that we got, the Sentinel, truth and light. So protecting the sacred, right? Protecting your heart, protecting. So the Sentinel is the guardian of the sacred, keeping sacred the future of the world in a way because of keeping sacred the future of the world, right? So we're protecting it from the false, which destroys and tears down what is built, and dishonors and distracts from purpose, right? So that's why we ascend. That's why we grow from our issues, like our shadows. That's why we look at it first. That's why we have to, because we have to know what it is. What do you sacrifice for? The truth and light needs protection, thus the armor. Like, these are all things that I wrote before I even pulled these cards. So protect the sacred. How funny. Okay, what is our resource? The devil. So that is so, yeah. We learn from our shadows. We learn from our mistakes. The lesson, Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and we create from that. The Chariot. That's how we move forward with balance. The Seven of Pentacles. It's what we're here for, right? That's the whole game. The lessons of life we're learning, because we learn from our past, our mistakes. When we do that, we are able to fulfill our purpose, because we're creating from the mistakes. So I also wrote here, let's see. So what would your best self do for your greatest good? So we're not dishonoring ourselves from making mistakes. Yeah, okay, here. The God within is fierce truth for the good of all. So how do you make tragedy into the gift? How do you make those mistakes into a gift? You give to others your wisdom, right? That's the gift. What you've learned from the mistakes. We're celebrating growth of self. We're not shaming others. We're not creating drama. We're not sabotaging ourselves and others. We're finding the God within, which is answering the call for the higher self, the ascension process, the rising in perspectives. Because once you learn that, oh, this was a third-party situation, you tend to move out of it. Like, you move on, and you don't settle anymore, right? You're not settling for less than you deserve, or somebody else's man, or somebody else's problem. You know, we're not doing that. Not over here. We're not doing that. We learn from those things and we move forward, but we also have the wisdom to give to others. That it's not for nothing. Like, I didn't just go through this for nothing. Right? That's the deeper message. And then the generational stuff. So, learning from, like, those situations allows us to break that cycle and generational curse. It's seeing clear the higher self. Instead of getting caught up in the lie. Like, the lie is that you should be ashamed of yourself. For what? For leaving? No, I don't think so. Finding the God within, you know, not allowing those things to move forward with you. It's like, not me. No. Not me. And just being, you know, clear on your boundaries. That's it. So that's what I got. I hope this helps.